He didn't rise to greatness. He fought his way into it. Olympic gold. Two-time unified heavyweight champion. His jab? A spear. His uppercut? Lightning that ends giants. Every punch a statement. Every victory a warning. Because the throne is never safe when Anthony Joshua's coming. Outside the ring, he glides through the city in his Rolls-Royce Phantom and returns to a mansion where marble floors gleam like championship gold. He is a global icon, stacking titles in the ring and empires outside it. A legacy built, not born. So, before we dive into the power, the presence, and the heavyweight royalty of Anthony Joshua, hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the bell, because this isn't just boxing, this is greatness rebuilt. In the quiet town of Watford, England, on October 15th, 1989, a storm was born. Not of thunder or lightning, but of power, precision, and purpose. He entered the world with royal Nigerian blood in his veins, yet the ring recognizes no kings, only warriors. Even as a teen, he broke his school's 100-meter record and built a physique that looked carved for battle. When he discovered boxing, everything aligned. In just a few years, Joshua captured silver at the 2011 World Championships and Olympic gold in 2012, his destiny sealed before the world's eyes. Turning professional in 2013, he tore through the heavyweight division with ruthless precision. By 2016, he claimed the IBF world title, unified the division the following year, and delivered an unforgettable war at Wembley, stopping Wladimir Klitschko in front of 90,000 fans to become a global superstar. He defended his belts against top names like Povetkin, Parker, and Whyte, before facing the humbling loss to Andy Ruiz Jr., only to reclaim his titles with icy focus in the rematch. From Olympic gold to unified glory, Anthony Joshua's rise was more than dominance. It was redemption, resilience, and discipline forged in fire. Today, that fire fuels an empire worth over $80 million, built by a fighter who turned legacy into legend. But outside the ring, another world awaits, one built on success, luxury, and a taste for the finer things. Because when the gloves come off and the arena lights fade, Anthony Joshua steps into another kind of ring. One built not of ropes and sweat, but of glass walls, polished marble, and quiet power. They call him the landlord now, and for good reason. What began with buying his mother's modest council flat for £175,000 has evolved into a sprawling £150 million property empire across London and Watford. At the heart of it stands his £25 million central London mansion, a modern fortress tucked near Bond Street. Wide glass walls overlook manicured lawns, a minimalist gym glows with LED panels, and an indoor spa hums beneath marble stone. The private cinema, lined with suede walls, feels more like a meditation space than a movie room, because Joshua's taste isn't loud, it's intentional. But his favorite property isn't the biggest. It's the Watford home he built for his family. A warm, open-plan mansion filled with laughter. It's where his mother still rules the kitchen and his son runs through the hallways. And then there's his garage, a gallery of power and precision. His Range Rover SV autobiography, finished in jet black with red-stitched leather, is his everyday king's carriage. Comfort, speed, and command in one. The Jaguar XJR, with its deep growl and handcrafted walnut interior, reflects his love for British craftsmanship. For those quiet business drives through London, he prefers the Mercedes-Benz S-Class, where tinted glass and Burmester speakers turn the back seat into a moving office. When he wants to feel the road, he takes out his Bentley Continental GT, the silver bullet with diamond-cut wheels and a cockpit lined in navy Alcantara. But the crown jewel of his collection isn't his. It's the Rolls-Royce Phantom, a white masterpiece he gifted to his mother. The spirit of ecstasy on its hood isn't just a symbol of luxury. It's gratitude cast in chrome. His attention to detail extends to time itself. Watches like the Audemars Piguet Royal Oak Offshore, carved in stainless steel, and the Royal Oak chronograph in rose gold, glint on his wrist. Not for vanity, but as reminders that every second of his journey mattered. And when it's time to escape, he swaps the noise of London for Dubai's glass towers or the Mediterranean's sapphire shores, traveling by private jet. The same calm, focused energy that once led him into title fights, now guiding him through first-class skies. Every mansion, every engine, every tick of his watch tells one story of a man who earned everything through sweat, faith, and patience. Because for him, luxury isn't about what shines, it's about what's built to last. It didn't start with gold medals or roaring crowds. It started with a decision, a moment of curiosity that changed everything. From the first punch, it was clear. The power, the balance, the composure, all natural. But talent alone doesn't build champions. What followed were years of grinding in silence, bleeding for something greater. 5 years later, the world watched him ascend. London, 2012, his home turf, his moment. After a silver at the World Championships, Joshua stormed through the Olympic tournament with unshakable will. In the final, trailing on points, he rallied back to defeat Italy's Roberto Camarel, sealing gold and announcing himself to the world. When he turned professional in 2013, the mission was clear: domination. His debut ended in under 3 minutes, and 10 straight knockouts followed. Britain had a new hero. The heavyweight division had its new hope. By 2015, Joshua had captured the Commonwealth and British titles, avenging his amateur loss to Dillian Whyte with a brutal 7th-round knockout. And in 2016, destiny called. April 9th, London's O2 Arena. He faced Charles Martin for the IBF world title. 2 rounds, 2 knockdowns, 1 new champion. Just like that, Anthony Joshua stood at the top of the mountain, and he wasn't looking down. Then came the defining night, April 29th, 2017, Wembley Stadium. 90,000 fans. Across the ring, Wladimir Klitschko, the long-reigning king. The fight was chaos and courage. Joshua dropped Klitschko in the 5th, was floored himself in the 6th, and somehow found the will to rise again. In the 11th round, a thunderous uppercut, followed by 2 knockdowns. Joshua had conquered a legend, unifying the IBF, WBA, Super, and IBO titles, and becoming the face of boxing. He went on to defeat Carlos Takam, Joseph Parker, and Alexander Povetkin, each fight sharpening his edge, each win building his empire. Then came Madison Square Garden, his U.S. debut in 2019. Andy Ruiz Jr., a late replacement, was never meant to win. Joshua dropped him early, but Ruiz rose and unleashed a storm. For knockdowns later, the impossible happened. Joshua lost. The champion had fallen. But true warriors rise from the ruins. 6 months later, in Saudi Arabia, Joshua returned a different man, leaner, colder, calculated. He outboxed Ruiz for 12 flawless rounds, reclaiming his titles through discipline, not destruction. He silenced Kubrat Pulev in 9 rounds, but fate had another test. Alexander Usyk, a master technician, smaller, faster, sharper. Their 2021 showdown saw Joshua outclassed and dethroned once again. The rematch a year later was closer, fiercer, but Usyk's brilliance prevailed. Yet, the fire didn't die. He rebuilt, step by step, beating Jermaine Franklin, Robert Helenius, and Otto Wallen. Then came 2024, and the statement victory, a devastating second-round knockout of Francis Ngannou. The old power was back, but boxing is a cruel storyteller. Later that year, at Wembley, Joshua faced Daniel Dubois for the IBF title. Dropped multiple times, stopped in the 5th, another heartbreak, another test of spirit. And still he stands. Because for him, glory was never about perfection. It was about persistence. Because champions aren't defined by how they fight. They're defined by how they rise after the fall. Behind the power and precision that define him in the ring lies a softer truth. A man shaped as much by love as by discipline. His world revolves around one person, Joseph Joshua, his son, his anchor, his reason. Born in 2015, JJ is the quiet force that keeps his father grounded, a reminder that every punch, every victory, every setback has purpose. His relationship with JJ's mother, Nicole Osborne, ended years ago, but respect endures. The Yoruba blood that flows through his veins carries the legacy of kings, yet he wears it with quiet humility. He's been linked to fame, fortune, and countless rumors. But in truth, his greatest loyalty is to his family, his faith, and his son. Because beyond the belts and the headlines, the fighter the world knows is first and always a father. He's not the type to drown in fame. He studies it, controls it, and turns it into fuel. Every move he makes feels strategic, like a chess game where each piece is a business, a mindset, or a lesson from failure. Before boxing gave him purpose, he was a bricklayer. Now he's building empires. His promotional company, Sparta Promotions Limited, reported over £35.9 million in profit in 2023, pushing its value beyond £120 million. And that's just one side of his portfolio. Through AJBXNG, his lifestyle and clothing brand, Joshua turned his legacy into a movement, a symbol of discipline, fashion, and athletic identity. His influence stretches into Formula One, where he joined an investment group for the Alpine racing team, proving his hunger for competition doesn't end when the final bell rings. But even kings face storms. Over the years, Joshua has weathered public controversies, from social media backlash to polarizing speeches. Yet he's remained unshaken, always answering criticism with action, not apology. To him, life after boxing isn't about retirement. It's about evolution. Whether mentoring young fighters, expanding business ventures, or chasing billionaire status, he moves like a man rewriting what it means to be a modern athlete. His legacy isn't written only in knockouts or titles. It's etched in the way he transformed failure into fuel. From the chaos of his youth to the calm confidence of a global icon, he's proof that discipline can rebuild anything, even a broken past. Before you go, don't miss out on exclusive perks. Click the link in the description to become a channel member and enjoy awesome benefits, like suggesting future video topics, getting early access to new content 48 hours before anyone else, and much more. Your support means the world and helps us keep bringing you the stories you love. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button, drop a comment, and subscribe for more amazing content. And while you're here, why not check out our deep dive inside Mike Tyson's Cannabis Ranch video? Trust me, you won't want to miss it. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.